The last thing I told Amber was to stay with her little brother and come right back. These words echoed in the mind of Donna, mother of 9-year-old Amber Hagerman, who was living a joyful life with her family, including her younger brother Ricky. A film crew had been documenting their lives, capturing moments of Amber's 9th birthday, a documentary that would tragically never see the light of day. The most unsettling aspect of this footage is that it was recorded just weeks before Amber's disappearance. These images would become the final glimpses of the little girl, whose name would later resonate worldwide each time an Amber Alert is issued. Amber Hagerman was abducted in broad daylight while riding her bicycle, a case that gripped the nation and transformed the lives of countless children. Even though her case remained unsolved for 25 years, her mother vowed that Amber's death would not be meaningless. Amber desperately needs justice. I will never give up on her, Donna declared. On January 13, 1996, in Arlington, Texas, Amber was visiting her grandparents with her mother and brother. At 3:10 p.m., Amber took her bike and set off down Highland Drive, accompanied by Ricky. Before leaving, she was instructed not to go beyond the street block. The last thing I told Amber was to stay with her little brother and come right back, Donna recalled. She was riding her bicycle. She turned around and said, "Okay, Mommy, I love you." Just 3 minutes later, at 3:13 p.m., Ricky noticed his sister was venturing further than allowed. He decided to return home, leaving Amber alone. When Ricky arrived without his sister, Donna grew anxious. She and her father immediately began searching for Amber, desperately scouring the area. The last place Ricky had seen her was no more than 2 blocks away, near a corner store. I was screaming, hoping she would hear me and come home. But she was gone, Donna said. Amber was nowhere to be found, but one witness had seen everything and dialed 911. I saw a pickup truck. A man grabbed a little girl and took off with her, the caller reported. She screamed. I saw her playing up and down the street, and he ran up behind her and grabbed her. He put her in his truck and drove off. Police immediately dispatched units to the abduction site and launched a neighborhood search. Tonight, we have information to be on the lookout for a black pickup truck, officials announced. Officers are following every black pickup truck moving in the city. Every second was critical as the abductor could be getting farther away. Meanwhile, Donna contacted friends and family to distribute flyers with Amber's picture. As neighbors learned of the kidnapping, the search party grew, with more volunteers joining. The influx of people became so overwhelming that the family feared the kidnapper could walk among them unnoticed. As hours passed, Donna was terrified at the thought that Amber might never be found. If you haven't found them within 24 hours, they're more than likely dead, she feared. Despite her dread, Donna saw the media coverage as an opportunity to involve the public. The more people who saw Amber's picture, the better the chances someone might provide valuable information. We want her back. Please don't hurt my little girl, Donna pleaded on television. The search continued, but authorities acknowledged the grim reality. If the kidnapper was in a vehicle, he could be far beyond their reach by now. By January 14th, a day after the abduction, police were following hundreds of leads with no substantial progress. Can you describe this guy to me? What kind of truck was it? Investigators asked witnesses. Donna's hope waned. She felt helpless but knew she couldn't give up. Police dedicated a unit to Amber's case, working tirelessly around the clock. However, as days passed, media attention dwindled, and fewer volunteers participated in the search. More than 72 hours after the abduction, many began to believe the kidnapper had taken Amber to another state. The pressing questions remained. Who did this and why Amber? 7 weeks prior to the abduction, Amber was filmed by a documentary crew following her mother's daily life. "You're doing these stamps, and you have to do them perfectly," Amber said, focused on her schoolwork. Her 9th birthday was just days away, but her attention was on her studies. "I had to get on the A honor roll, AB honor roll, and do good things in class," she explained. "So you make good grades?" the interviewer asked. Amber nodded proudly. The intelligent little girl also helped her mother around the house. Their close bond was evident in the footage. "Look, Mom, I made this for you," Amber said, handing over a handmade gift. "Thank you, that's pretty," Donna replied. The note read, "Dear Mom, this is for you that I made at school. I love you a lot. Love, Amber." The documentary, intended to focus on welfare reform, inadvertently captured the last joyful moments of Amber's life. "Please come down, Galaxy," Amber wished aloud as she blew out her birthday candles. "Make a wish and blow it out, baby," her family encouraged. Watching the footage of her 9th birthday now is heart-wrenching. Nothing could have prepared them for the tragedy that lay ahead in just 7 weeks. On January 17, 1996, a news bulletin interrupted regular programming with ominous developments in Amber's case. "We interrupt this program to bring you a special report," the announcer said gravely. "We have late developments in the newsroom, and it is a rather ominous development in the case of 9-year-old Amber Hagerman." At 11:41 p.m., a dreaded call came through to Arlington's dispatch. Amber Hagerman's body had been found in a creek, only 4 miles from where she had been abducted. A man walking his dog made the horrifying discovery. He had looked over a fence and saw something white. When he looked again, he realized it was a body. The dispatcher would later recount. Donna, Amber's mother, refused to believe it was her daughter. "I didn't want to believe it. It's not my little girl. I want to see my little girl," she cried. When she rushed to see Amber, the sight was so distressing that police attempted to prevent Donna from seeing her daughter in such a condition. "They told me I couldn't hold her like a mother would hold her child. But I held her little hands and told her, 'Mommy's here now. It's okay.'" As Amber's death made headlines, the community's outrage grew. There were no suspects, no arrests, and the person responsible for the crime was still free. This created fear in every parent's heart. "What are we going to do to protect our children?" one parent asked in distress. The entire community felt the sting of the tragedy. For Donna, Amber's death fractured her family. Ricky, Amber's younger brother, struggled with the loss and began to act out. His guilt weighed heavily on him, wondering if Amber would still be alive if he had stayed by her side that day. As police continued their investigation, they released a profile of the suspect, a white or Hispanic male in his 20s, with dark hair, standing under 6 feet tall. Despite their efforts, forensic evidence was scarce. Much had been washed away by rain on the night Amber's body was found. However, investigators knew that the abductor had driven a black short-bed pickup truck and left no fingerprints when grabbing Amber. The suspect seemed to know the area well, especially the hidden creek where Amber's body was dumped. Could he be someone local? Police pondered. The location of Amber's body, just 4 miles from her abduction site, suggested that the kidnapper might have lived or worked nearby. The lack of cover in the winter months also raised questions about how he moved undetected in an area surrounded by homes. The belief grew that the man had possibly committed such a crime before. "Someone out there knows this individual," authorities said, "and for some reason, they haven't come forward." Police were certain that Amber had been kept alive for up to 48 hours after she was taken. The thought of what might have happened to her during those hours weighed heavily on Donna. She wished she could have been there to protect her daughter. In the weeks following Amber's death, Donna allowed the documentary crew to continue filming, hoping that sharing Amber's story would spark change. But the footage showed the deep grief that consumed her. "Sometimes I just want to be with her," Donna admitted. "But I have my son, and I couldn't do that to him. I have to be strong for Amber, too." Though no arrests were made, Donna's determination to seek justice never wavered. With no outlet for her anger, she channeled it into advocacy, appearing on television and speaking to lawmakers in a push for tougher sentences for offenders. "We want life in prison without parole for first-time offenders," Donna demanded. "Something needs to change, and it needs to change now." Donna also testified before a subcommittee, hoping to pass a law that would create a nationwide system to track intimacy offenders. Through tears, she told the committee, "When this man took my daughter, he took my dreams, my best friend. I never want another mother to go through what I've gone through." But one lingering question haunted her. Why did it take so long for the public to know about Amber's abduction? Precious time had been lost that could have made a difference. Donna wasn't the only one asking this question. Amber's tragic story had reached someone who would turn that very question into a solution, sparking an idea that would forever change how missing children are found. In 1996, a woman named Diana Simone, who had no background in broadcasting, reached out to her local radio station with an idea she believed could save children from abduction. Her suggestion led to the creation of what is now known as the Amber Alert system, named in honor of Amber Hagerman. The first of its kind, this emergency broadcast system alerts the public about child abductions, allowing everyday citizens to assist in locating missing children. Today, Amber Alerts are broadcast across news programs, billboards, mobile phones, and social media, playing a crucial role in rescuing abducted children. It took nearly a decade for every state in the U.S. to adopt the Amber Alert system, but it has since become a lifeline for missing children. By 2019, 23 years after Amber's abduction, no arrests had been made in her case. However, Amber's legacy lived on in the lives of the many children saved through the alert system. One such case occurred on May 18, 2019, just 15 miles from where Amber had been taken. Salem Sabaka and her mother were walking down 6th Avenue in Fort Worth, Texas, when Salem was forcibly abducted. The scene was captured by a residence door camera, showing Salem being ripped from her mother's arms. "Help me! Help me, please!" her mother screamed, as the video went viral. Immediately, neighbors contacted the police, providing footage that identified the vehicle involved. A massive manhunt ensued, with police departments across the area sharing the video and the vehicle description. Shortly after, an Amber Alert was issued for Salem Sabaka. One of the citizens searching for Salem was Jeff King, a pastor who scoured the city for the vehicle. Later that evening, he spotted the car in a hotel parking lot and alerted the authorities. By 2:22 a.m., police arrived at the hotel, capturing the dramatic moment on body cameras as they intervened, rescuing Salem. "4th Police Department, open the door," the officers shouted. Within moments, they apprehended the kidnapper and freed Salem from the room. "We got her," the officers exclaimed, their relief palpable. Salem Sabaka became one of over 1,000 children saved thanks to the Amber Alert system. For Donna, every Amber Alert that reunites a child with their family brings a bittersweet comfort. "When I hear that a child has been found, I look up to heaven and say, 'You did it again, baby girl.'" Amber Hagerman's legacy is one of hope and protection. Though her own case remains unsolved, the system created in her memory has resolved almost 99% of Amber Alert cases. Her mother, Donna, finds solace in knowing that her daughter's name continues to save lives. "Amber is still taking care of our little children as she did when she was here," Donna said proudly. Even after all these years, Donna and Ricky, Amber's younger brother, continue to honor her memory, with Ricky expressing his desire to become a police officer. Meanwhile, the Arlington Police Department has not stopped pursuing justice for Amber. They have followed over 7,000 leads and are still hopeful that advances in DNA technology will bring them closer to catching her life-taker. Detectives reveal that they have preserved a small piece of DNA evidence, which could one day crack the case. "Amber desperately needs justice, and I will never give up on her," Donna vowed. Amber Hagerman's tragic story reminds us of the vulnerability of childhood and the incredible strength of a mother's love. Although her life was cut short, Amber's legacy continues to save countless children through the Amber Alert system. Her memory lives on in every child found, every family reunited, and every life saved. As we reflect on Amber's life, we honor the hope she continues to bring to others. Let her story remind us all to stay vigilant, look out for one another, and never stop fighting for justice. Thank you for watching. If you believe in the power of hope and awareness, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more stories that shed light on the strength of the human spirit. Together, we can make a difference.